Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's a little bit of a momentous day for me. Today my channel has reached 700 videos. Even I can't believe that. I was so moved I went out and got a haircut. But today's video is about thin strip ripping jigs. And my buddy Bill from the Sunflower Woodworkers Guild near Wichita sent me an adaptation for this, sort of a hold down for it, and I looked at it, I thought that's a great idea, and I finally got around to building it. So today that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm not going to use this jig. I'm going to make a whole brand new one because I thought this one was going to be just a little bit on the narrow side. So we'll make a whole brand new thin strip ripping jig, a little bit longer, and you'll get to see the entire process. It's a fun build. I think you'll enjoy making one for yourself. So let's get started. Now for this I have an offcut of some beech that I have that is excess to my needs right now, and this particular piece is 3 inches by 1.5, and that's going to work fine. I'm not going to be able to use this one just because the handle in it, I really like the handle in it, but I'm going to have to make a little different handle. Now the old one is 14 inches, and I've determined that in my case, I could probably go 16 inches here. So I have a hanger bolt here that I'm going to use, and a hanger bolt is a machine thread on one side and wood screw on the other. So I need to drill a pilot hole to put that in. You can see that I've got a washer locked on there between the two bolts, or the two nuts rather, and then I'll just drive that in. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Now for the hold down tower, I have some Baltic birch, which is 1/2 inch thick. I'm going to cut 2 strips of that. So I want this hold down tower to be able to move back and forth as well as up and down. It doesn't need to move a lot, but in case I need to do some adjustments, I want it to be able to move a bit. So what I have in here is a compression bit, and I'm going to drop my plywood down onto this. This little piece here, this will be laying flat on top of the jig, and then I'll cut another slot further up here, and that will be the upright part of it. So I'm just going to cut this part, and that compression bit should leave me a nice clean cut on both the top and the bottom. All right, well, I've prepared all of the components. The only thing I don't have is the slide that will go up and down here, but we'll do that in a moment. all I need to do now is put everything together. I'm going to start off with the handle, and I've got a line on there. So all I need to do is drill some diagonal holes in here so that I can put some screws in. It's pretty simple. And that should easily seat that. And I've got a nice long screw to go in there because that's a diagonal. It's going to be going down that way. So let's start off with that. There, that's nicely in there. I've got another one to go down in here, and I'm going to go pretty deep on this one. There we go. And this base is super hard, so it'll be perfect for that. Now I'm going to put a hanger bolt in here, and that's going to be for the upright. Have to pre-drill that. That should be good. Put a driver on there, and I've already put the bolts. You can see I've got the bolts between the washer there. It should drive in nicely. There we go. Perfect. Take that. Come off of there now. There we go. Okay. Now there's the upright, and we've already made that prior. So I'm going to put a washer on there. And there, no, I need a little bit smaller knob for that. There we go, that's better. So that'll hold that down. Now what's nice with this is, I'm not sure why I would want to do this, but I thought it was easier, or not easier, but astute to be able to move that back and forth. Now I have a T-nut here, which is a nut. If you drill a hole and you put this in, you'll see in a moment, for the upright part here. And basically that will go sort of backwards like that into a piece of wood. The bolt will go through and with the knob on it and be able to move up and down. This is the part that's critical here. So I'm going to go ahead and make this piece of wood, and it's going to be thicker. I'm going to make it wedge shape so that it's thick up here and goes down to, you know, I don't know, probably 1/16 of an inch down there. Okay, as it turns out, I have some 1/4 inch wood that I've already cut down, a hardwood here, and you can see where I've already marked this. I've taken my T-nut to the grinder and I've just ground it down a little bit. It was a little bit too deep, and now it's just the right angle. You can see that I put a bolt on there and a nut to secure it, and that worked well. Now I need to drill a hole here of all sizes, 19/64, and wouldn't you know, I happen to have a drill bit that'll fit that. So I'm going to go over to the drill press and just drill that hole and insert that T-nut into there. And it's going to require hammering in there to stick in there, so that should be good. But what I need to do, first of all, I'm going to go over to my sander and just take the thickness down on this a little bit. I'm not going to bother to show you that because it's just the reciprocating sander, and just take that down. If you had a belt sander, you could do the same thing. So I'll do that. When I come back, we should be able to put this all together. Okay, so there's the slide part, and if you look at the end, you can see how it's tapered there. I only tapered it part way. I can do more work on it later, but I want to try this now, and I think that's about 1/16 of an inch down there. Okay, so the last thing now to finalize this, and I've just got another knob up here with a bolt through it, and we'll put that through See if I can get that threaded in there, because that's the part that I ground down. Okay. And of course I've got the flat side against the flat side here, and it might stick out a little bit. I'm not really too concerned about that, and as I said, I may have to take a bit more down on that. Before I test the jig, I want to change the blade. I'm going to take this big 10-inch blade out of here and put this circular saw blade in here. This is a 40 tooth. This is perfect for cutting thin strips. It's a 40 tooth, very thin kerf, 1/16 of an inch. It'll be ideal. Okay, that's all set up. I don't need to use my push stick here because I'm quite a distance from the blade, so I'm just going to go ahead and start doing a couple of cuts here. There they are. Those are pretty short. They still fit under the part here that's going to hold them down, but they didn't move around, which is really what I was looking for. So that's a success. I like that. That's a nice adaptation. Well, that concludes my video for today. Another adaptation to a jig, in this case, the Thin Strip Ripping Jig. And this jig I use quite a bit. I keep it right next to my table saw, and I'm surprised how often I use it. I'm surprised how many of these I've given away, too, to people that come in and go, oh, I like that idea. So I make them, I end up giving them away. But this one I'm going to hang on to. I think I might add some color to this, though. It looks a little blasé. Maybe I better fix it up and add some color to it. So I'm Colin Connett for Woodwork Web. Thanks for watching.